How would you describe En Primeur?
Well, En Primeur is a way of buying wine, specifically fine wine. So it's a system that started around 30, 35 years ago in Bordeaux. And at the time, the chateaus were in need of selling their wine early for cash flow purposes. So effectively what they were doing was that they were passing on the risk and reward to down the line. And that then was sold on by the merchants, which are their customers, through to the consumers.
And who do you think benefits most, collectors or investors?
I think it's really, it's a collector's way of buying. There is an element of investment to it. But if you go back to collectors, I think you got to look at two parts of that. You've got people who just want to collect and get a buzz from having wines in their cellars. We've also got people who are buying early to drink. So they're planning ahead years in advance what they will drink, what will be good for dinner parties, what will be great for some special occasions. It might be, buy something as a christening present and then drink it when the child becomes 21. Buy it for your daughter or son's wedding in a number of years' time, so that you've got something, a celebratory drink. But also just thinking, in 20 years' time, I'd like to have a dinner party with my friends, and I want something really interesting that has a backstory.
As an En Primeur buyer, as a consumer, presumably you've got to be on it if you want the wines that you like.
Yeah, so there's a bit of preparation if you want to enter into an En Primeur campaign, is to have an idea about what are your sort of top wines that you want to consider. Some merchants like us will accept people to make wish lists. And then, depending on where the history of those customers buying with a merchant, they will get the priority on the wish list.
That's interesting. But if I was starting out, and this was my first campaign for En Primeur, what are the things that I would need to consider?
I think have a goal as much as you can about what you want to achieve. So I suppose there's two ways of looking at it: is buying wines for future enjoyment. And then there is an element in En Primeur of investment. And then there's a fusion of the two. So I think the safest thing, if people are looking as an alternative investment, which is what wine is, and unregulated, by the way. So when you take advice from people, they are not financial advisors, and you have to. There is an element of risk behind that.
So Ollie, it's no coincidence that we're meeting now, because we're on the cusp of the Bordeaux campaign. What's so special about Bordeaux?
I think what's special about Bordeaux is, apart from being the largest region and producer of fine wine in the world still today, that might change in the future, and the best known because of it's got a 300, 400, 500 year history, depending on which region you're looking at. It's really the birthplace of En Primeur, which is this system of selling wines before they're bottled. Which came about in the 80s and really sort of gained momentum through the 1990s, where the risk and reward was being passed from the chateau onto the consumer.
So Ollie, I have made the decision to come to Le Clos because it's got a great reputation for En Primeur. What happens next?
So you've got a range of around 160 different wines to choose from. If you are very well versed, then you can just make your selection on your own. If you need help, then we have a team of advisors who can guide you through what are the wines that you should buy according to whatever your objectives might be and what we establish together is your taste. Fast forward on from there, you are going to want to monitor your wines or your investment. So what we've done is developed some software behind that to make it easy for consumers. This is a piece of software which we call My Wines.
Yeah.
So once you've purchased, you'll be given an account, or we will set up an account for you on My Wines, and that will give you the location of the wines once they get into the bond. It will update you almost daily on the values of those wines versus your purchase value.
Where does it get that information from?
So it's taking that information from Wine Searcher, and there's a very clever algorithm to establish what the fair market price is of any given wine on any given day. That's also important because we offer two types of what we call disposal service.
Yeah.
So one is delivery,
yeah,
and one is facility to sell your wine.
Right.
So if we go to delivery, if you have your wines in the UK, you can storage in the UK. I mean, you simply go online into your account, select which wines you want to take possession of, put in the address. You'll be asked to pay the VAT, the duties, and the small delivery charge, and then those wines can be delivered to your specified address.
But as an investor in wine, you do have the facility to buy and sell from your storage.
Yeah, so we have access to the world's largest brokerage platform for fine wines as a trade member. And we give that access to our customers.
I see.
So what happens is, if you think you want in the market to sell a particular wine, you go in, you select the wine, you'll then be taken to a page which will give you now not Wine Searcher, but LiveX specific information, which is pulling from all the most important merchants from around the world with live prices, which are changing, on the hour.
Yeah.
It gives you a guide then of what is the market price, what people are selling wines for, and it asks you to establish your selling price. That then goes on to the exchange as an offer, and it waits for other merchants and merchants' customers behind to make bids against your offer.
So it's like a FTSE 100 for wine.
Yeah, it is exactly that, but you're trading a physical product rather than a paper trade in essence. Yeah. So that trade, if you put that offer on up, it will last for 90 days before it expires, and then you can just simply renew. If you have pitched a little bit too high, you might get offers made at a lower price, which you can choose to accept or ignore. And then you can just, it's a live system. So for us, you can keep chopping and changing, what you do.
Good. That's really interesting. Thank you.
I know.